The following is a presentation of eJunto, a not-for-profit organization dedicated to producing quality audiobooks for the public domain. To view our library or find out how you can help, visit us at www.ejunto.org. eJunto presents the Magna Carta. Introduction. Signed on a hill at Runnymede in the year 1215, the Magna Carta was truly a revolution on paper. Here were subjects of the king forcing the monarch to limit his own power and define their liberties. While those benefiting from the Magna Carta were few, and many of its laws would be repealed over time, its signing marked the beginning of the end for unlimited monarchy in Europe. The Magna Carta. John, by the grace of God, King of England, Lord of Ireland, Duke of Normandy and Aquitaine, and the Count of Anjou, to his archbishops, bishops, abbots, earls, barons, justices, foresters, sheriffs, stewards, servants, and to all his officials and loyal subjects, greeting. Know that before God, for the health of our soul and those of our ancestors and heirs, to the honor of God, the exaltation of the Holy Church, and the better ordering of our kingdom, at the advice of our Reverend Father Stephen, Archbishop of Canterbury, Primate of all England, and Cardinal of the Holy Roman Church, Henry, Archbishop of Dublin, William, Bishop of London, Peter, Bishop of Winchester, Jocelyn, Bishop of Bath and Glastonbury, Hugh, Bishop of Lincoln, Walter, Bishop of Worcester, William, Bishop of Coventry, Benedict, Bishop of Rochester, Master Pandulph, Subdeacon and member of the Papal household, Brother Emeric, Master of the Knighthood of the Temple in England, William Marshall, Earl of Pembroke, William Earl of Salisbury, William Earl of Warren, William Earl of Arundel, Alan de Galloway, Constable of Scotland, Warren Fitzgerald, Peter Fitzherbert, Hubert de Burgh, Seneschal of Poitou, Hugh de Neville, Matthew Fitzherbert, Thomas Bissett, Alan Bissett, Philip de Boisney, Robert de Ropely, John Marshall, John Fitzhugh, and other loyal subjects. First, that we have granted to God, and by this present charter have confirmed for us and our heirs in perpetuity, that the English Church shall be free, and shall have its own rights undiminished and its liberties unimpaired. That we wish this to be so observed appears from the fact that of our own free will, before the outbreak of the present dispute between us and our barons, we granted and confirmed by charter the freedoms of the church elections, a right beckoned to be of the greatest necessity and importance to it, and caused this to be confirmed by Pope Innocent III. This freedom we shall observe ourselves, and desire to be observed in good faith by our heirs in perpetuity. To all freemen of our kingdom, we have also granted, for us and our heirs forever, all the liberties written out below, to have and keep for them and their heirs, of us and our heirs. If any earl, baron, or other person that holds land directly of the crown for military service shall die, and at his death his heir shall be of full age, and owe a relief, the heir shall have his inheritance on payment of the ancient scale of relief. That is to say, the heir of heirs of an earl shall pay 100 for the entire earl's barony. The heir or heirs of a knight 100 at most for the entire knight's fee. And any man that owes less shall pay less, in accordance with the ancient usage of fees. But if the heir of such a person is under age and a ward, when he comes of age, he shall have his inheritance without relief or fine. The guardian of the land of an heir who is under age shall take from it only reasonable revenues, customary dues, and feudal services. He shall do this without destruction or damage to men or property. If we have given the guardianship of the land to a sheriff, or to any person answerable to us for the revenue, and he commits destruction or damage, we will exact compensation from him, and the land shall be entrusted to 2 worthy and prudent men of the same fee, who shall be answerable to us for the revenues, or to the person to whom we have assigned them. If we have given our soul to anyone, the guardianship of such land, and he causes destruction or damage, he shall lose the guardianship of it, and it shall be handed over to 2 worthy and prudent men of the same fee, who shall be similarly answerable to us. For so long as a guardian has guardianship of such land, he shall maintain the houses, parks, fish preserves, ponds, mills, and everything else pertaining to it, from the revenue of the land itself. When the heir comes of age, he shall restore the whole land to him, stocked with plough teams, and such implements of husbandry as the season demands, and the revenues from the land can reasonably bear. Heirs may be given in marriage, but not to someone of lower social standing. Before a marriage takes place, it shall be made known to the heir's next of kin. At her husband's death, a widow may have her marriage portion and inheritance at once and without trouble. She shall pay nothing for her dower, marriage portion, or any inheritance that she and her husband held jointly on the day of his death. She may remain in her husband's house for 40 days after his death, and within this period her dower shall be assigned to her. No widow shall be compelled to marry so long as she wishes to remain without a husband. But she must give security that she will not marry without royal consent if she holds her lands of the crown, or without the consent of whatever other lord she may hold them of. Neither we nor our officials will seize any land or rent in payment of a debt, so long as the debtor has movable goods sufficient to discharge the debt. A debtor's sureties shall not be distrained upon, so long as the debtor himself can discharge his debt. If for lack of means the debtor is unable to discharge his debt, his sureties shall be answerable for it. If they so desire, they may have the debtor's lands and rents until they have received satisfaction for the debt that they paid for him, unless the debtor can show that he has settled his obligation to them. If anyone who has borrowed a sum of money from the Jews dies before the debt has been repaid, his heirs shall pay no interest on the debt for so long as he remains under age, irrespective of whom he holds his lands. If such a debt falls into the hands of the crown, it will take nothing except the principal sum specified in the bond. If a man dies owing money to Jews, his wife may have her dower and pay nothing toward the debt from it. If he leaves children that are under age, their needs may also be provided for on a scale appropriate to the size of his holdings of land. The debt is to be paid out of the residue, reserving the service due to his feudal lords. Debts owed to persons other than Jews are to be dealt with similarly. No scutage or aid may be levied in our kingdom without its general consent, unless it is for the ransom of our person, to make our eldest son a knight, and once to marry our eldest daughter. For these purposes only a reasonable aid may be levied. Aids from the City of London are to be treated similarly. The City of London shall enjoy all its ancient liberties and free customs, both by land and by water. We also will and grant that all other cities, boroughs, towns, and ports shall enjoy all their liberties and free customs. To obtain the general consent of the realm for the assent of an aid, except in the 3 cases specified above, or a scutage, we will cause the archbishops, bishops, abbots, earls, and greater barons to be summoned individually by letter. To those who hold lands directly of us, we will cause a general summons to be issued, through the sheriffs and other officials, to come together on a fixed day, of which at least 40 days' notice shall be given, and at a fixed place. In all letters of summons, the cause of the summons will be stated. When a summons has been issued, the business appointed for the day shall go forward in accordance with the resolution of those present, even if not all of those who were summoned have appeared. In the future, we will allow no one to levy an aid from his freemen, except to ransom his person, to make his eldest son a knight, and to once marry his eldest daughter. For these purposes only, a reasonable aid